Okay, Gabriel, you're gonna try the eggs and tell us what you think. Sadie's even wanting to find out. Okay. So, will I water glass my farm fresh eggs going forward? The jury is way out on that one. So hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome into the kitchen. It's a dark, rainy, spooky night, but we're gonna check our water glassed eggs. Okay, now this is one of those situations where you have people that love it, swear by it. Then you have the situation where there are people that didn't like it at all, thought it was disgusting, or things didn't work out for them. Now here's the situation. Anytime you're dealing with eggs, you're dealing with a very sensitive situation, actually. So there's a lot of variables that can cause good or bad scenarios for different people. I realize that. Now, I've had water glassed eggs since May. I did April into May, okay? So I have 3 different batches. This is my last batch right here. It's been sitting here for a long time. And I noticed the other day that the water was getting really cloudy. Like it's like all of a sudden, like a week and a half ago, it's like, ooh, what's going on there? So we're at the 8-month mark here on the water glassed eggs. Now I have a whole video on this, showed you how I did it. We talked about it. There's tons of videos on it. Townsend's has a great video on egg preservation. It's the best on YouTube, in my personal opinion, for all the options in terms of egg preservation, because he really touches upon 18th century preservation, which is really what we need to be studying. But so I water glassed eggs, and I actually liked it. Thought they looked pretty doggone good until I saw this kind of, ooh, looking weird. And then I thought, well, it's been 8 months. It's time to test them anyway. So I opened this up, and honey, I am telling you, it was funky cold Medina. Yeah, that's right. This is what happened about halfway down on the backside. Now, here's the thing. This has been sitting on my countertop, so I'm totally aware that I need to be fair here. This hasn't been moved a whole lot since it's been sitting here, but probably with Christmas and holiday baking and things like that, probably got knocked around a little bit, is my guess. And this ruptured, and it smells horrible. And all of that is in the solution here. So let me answer this question, because I've seen this question a lot in recent days. Can you reuse this solution? I would never dare reuse this solution, even if you don't have a problem. If you've done it and it's worked for you, or any of these things work for you, please note my motto is do what works best for you, your family, and your farm. So anything that I'm experiencing or saying or doing or recommending may not work for you. Totally aware of that. I'm living off of my own experience and experiences just like you are, okay? So that's why we do these videos, to share all these different things, right? Well, so about halfway down, this was sitting here on the backside like this. So here's what I'm saying. I'm not aware that this was knocked around a whole lot. I am not aware that it really had a whole lot of weight on top. The main problem that I've seen with a lot of folks with water glassing their eggs is that they've done them in 3 to 5 gallon big old heap, big old tubs, or big old crocks, or and I thought from the get-go, I was like, that is way too heavy. I work with 5-gallon buckets out here, just trying to grow potatoes in them and different things like that. And I know when you pack things in that gets so heavy, especially for us ladies, that it would be really difficult for you to move it and do different things. So I've gone the 1 to 2 gallon route, okay, which is what you're going to see here and here. But I think it got knocked around. So here's the deal. I will not reuse the solution, whether it goes rotten or not. The main reason you don't want to do that is because, guys, eggs are extremely porous. Even with the bloom on them, have you ever been outside and you have like a piece of concrete, like a concrete block, and it's been really hot, and you pick it up, and it's not too heavy. If you went out there right now and you picked up a concrete block that I've got outside, that I know we have a few, and you tried to pick it up after 2 days of rain, it's going to be heavier, okay? It's because even though you think it's solid, it's not. That water is getting in there. Same thing with these eggs. So if there's any yucky, funky cold Medina in the solution water, guess what? It's in all those eggs, and I'm not risking that. Your great-great-grandmother, unless it was life or death, would have never risked eating rotten food because that was life or death for a lot of people, can be today. So if you're asking me, should you reuse this solution? My answer is going to be no, regardless of the scenario. Here's the thing. So I have a loss here, okay? I believe this ended up being between 36 and 40 eggs. Total loss for me. That's okay. My hens are laying now, so I'm not stressing out. But I'm going to test this one. I'm going to pull a few out, and we're going to crack them, look at them, and evaluate them and see what we think. Here's what you need to know. Here is what I am learning point blank from this whole scenario. If you have chickens, I've had chickens for many, many years. You know that. A lot of you have chickens too. I'm going to highly, highly recommend that you think about your time in which you preserve your eggs and how long you hold those eggs. A lot of people are asking me questions too about, why are my chickens not laying? Is it because of the feed? I know there's talk about problems with layer feed right now. People have changed and suddenly they think their hens are laying again. I don't know all the ins and outs of that, so I'm not arguing any points either way. But I do think some people are confused with the timing that hens typically stop laying eggs versus when they start laying eggs again. What do I mean by that? Okay, so what I mean by that is most hens in most scenarios for most people, especially if they have a hen that is at least 18 months or older, by the time you go into early fall, they're going to molt. Okay, they stop laying eggs when they molt. That's a whole other topic. What you find that you're going to run into also is the fact that you're into the fall, early pre-winter time. The days get really, 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 really short. Hens are not going to lay eggs for you. They don't for us come November into December, early January. But it starts picking up when the days start getting longer. I'm getting between 1 and 3 dozen eggs right now. And here we are, January 22nd, okay? So my girls are coming back. It has nothing to do with me feeding them anything different. I'm giving them a 16% layer feed. The only thing that has changed is that the days have been longer and it's warmed up a little bit too. They do tend to not lay a whole lot when it's super cold or you get these super cold snaps. Would you? No, you would be conserving your energy. You would be conserving your body to stay warm and survive these moments of extreme cold. So they're not worried about plopping an egg for you. They're trying to survive. That's the way they're made. My point is, typically around here, may be different for your area. By the time we get into mid-January, especially by the 1st of February, my hens are laying me enough eggs to give me what I want. That's why we have to go through all of these water glassed eggs and figure them out. See if we like this, was it worth it again? If this is something that I choose to do again, which we're about to find out, I would change how many I did or do going forward. And I would also try to work with it in a lesser time frame. In other words, maybe, I'm guessing, I don't know, if I had tried to start consuming these a month ago or maybe 2 months ago, right? Then maybe this wouldn't have happened versus I let them sit a little bit longer because everybody says, oh, they can, I've had them sit there for 2 years. Well, that's great. I wish they would. I hope they do. But the longer they sit, the more risk that you take. So you have to weigh out when do you get eggs versus when you don't, how many do you use. This is a learning curve for me, just like it's a learning curve for a lot of y'all. Okay, so we know that this whole batch right here is a no-go. Bye, lost them. Gonna pitch them out, right? Right. But what are we looking like here? How did these make it? Okay, so so we know that this was a 1 gallon deal. You'll see it being bye from my countertop. Oh, and look, do you like my new cookie jar? Isn't she pretty? Miss Belle. Yes, she's so pretty. So here, I'm gonna take out a couple of these eggs. It doesn't really smell strange. It smells like lime to me. This one had kind of more of a rotten smell. You know what a rotten egg smells like. That's how I knew. I saw it, I opened it, I was like, oh noes. And I was looking in, and this sucker right here was sitting on the other side. I was like, oh, no, 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 no. Okay, so we're gonna take out a couple more and we're gonna open them up and see what they look like. Okay, so just so you know, these were finished. This was finished on 5/11/2022, meaning it took me several days of going out and collecting fresh, farm fresh eggs that were this clean every single day, several days in a row when my hens were laying a whole lot of eggs at one time to build this. So this took several days. And when I got to the point where I stopped, that's the date that I marked it. So this started around the 1st of May, you know, give or take. So I just wanted you to know the time frame on that. And I'm going to crack open 8 eggs. We'll evaluate them, see how they look. And you know what I'm going to do? We're going to cook them up and see what we think. Okay, so I've got 2 bowls. I don't know how, I really want to look at each egg, but I don't know. Oh, that cracked easy. We're just going for it, people. Okay. All right, so a lot of people talk about how they're a little bit more runny. Let me smell it. I've got it on my fingers too. Doesn't smell like anything, so there's no rot or weird smell there. That already cracked the yolk on that one. Okay, looks normal to me. Ooh, that one. Okay, getting stuff. So, I mean, they're cracking open. That one's maintained pretty good. Okay. I'm going to do 4 in this one. Let me smell in case I've come across anything. Looks good. Oh, that popped pretty easy. Okay. Oh, look. Okay, so you can see here. I don't know if you can see this, James. This one was fertilized and that one was fertilized. Let me smell. Okay, these first 4. These are good. So James is filming. Did it splatter on you, honey?
No, but it almost got me.
Okay, so I think we're going to be good on this batch. I don't smell anything in here, and so far we're looking good. I'm going to do the next 4 again just to be safe, and I'm going to, you know, check it. I'm already doing it. We're going to go for it. It does kind of squirt out, doesn't it? Okay, so this one has a blood spot, and there's the yolk, and then there is the bullseye. Let me smell. Smells normal. Doesn't smell like anything. Really doesn't smell like anything. I didn't crack that one good. That one was still pretty good. I know this looks very OCD, but I just want to make sure after seeing all of this. Ooh, that one's not. Look at that. I'll zone in on that in a minute, James. All right. All right, we're going to scramble these up. We're going to be plain Jane. You can cook with them, bake with them. Does this look strange to you at all? They look pretty normal, don't they? I think so too. All right, let me zone in on this and I'll show them what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if the lighting is there. Can you see it? Right there. Pretty good. Okay, so James has the nose of a bloodhound and is very picky. So you're gonna be our guinea pig. Sniff them and tell me what you think.
There's no smell in that bowl.
Okay, how are we doing here? Just so I'm checking myself also.
There's no smell in that bowl either.
Okay, all right. So thumbs up so far?
Thumbs up.
Okay. Okay, so I've turned off the heat. I don't want them overdone, but I like to keep them thick and fluffy. I'm really surprised. I thought they would be runnier and thinner than this. This is really surprising. The only thing that I have down on this little skillet is literally a couple pats of Kerrygold. That's it. I haven't done salt, pepper, anything else. I want to taste them with just a little bit of butter. I want to see what they're going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to take them off. I'm going to put some here, and then we're going to try them out. You ready? Get my little deer plate, and let's just test them out. Look at that. Really nice. Okay, just a little bit of pepper. You ready? This looks like a good bite. Hot. Surprise. Tastes like a good old fresh scrambled egg. Okay, Gabriel, you're gonna try the eggs and tell us what you think. Sadie's even wanting to find out. Okay. All I did was put Kerrygold. No big deal.
Well, they taste like eggs. That's good.
So, nothing weird?
Nothing weird. No, I've seen how some of them turned out straight out of the jar, but these are good.
These are good? Good flavor?
Yeah, they just taste like eggs.
Here's what we know. My eggs are around, well, some of them are pushing almost 9 months old. So having them in a bucket, out of sight, out of mind, wasn't really moved a lot, wasn't moved but maybe once during the whole duration in my pantry, in a cool, kind of dark place, didn't have anything go on in the bucket. The eggs are fabulous. Clearly, we had a situation here. What caused it? My guess is it got bumped. That's my guess. I don't know. All of my eggs were they were literally put into the containers the day of that they were laid by the hen. So I did a whole video on that. I've talked about it openly very, very much on a lot of different forums. So what I'm saying is, here's the bottom line. Things happen. No matter how you preserve your foods, no matter how good you do it, no matter what, you could have some casualties. So here's going to be my recommendation going forward. I'm going to try another method just to test it, just like I did these. I would absolutely not do anything larger than 1 to 2 gallons, because if something were to break and it goes wrong, something goes bad, that's a lot of eggs to lose. See, I'm only losing 1 gallon here, which is around 3 dozen or so. Okay, versus had I done this, it was a lot more. Can you imagine losing a 5-gallon bucket worth? Not worth it. So I highly recommend that you consider the smaller situations, like I said, the smaller buckets or containers. I would also look at time frame. If you're getting to a point, like I said earlier, where your hens are starting to lay eggs again, you better make sure you're going through these, or starting to, because the longer they sit, the longer that they hang around, the more likely something could happen. So that was a lesson too. So if it works and if they don't get broken or nothing happens, are they awesome? Heck yeah. So no loss with that. So a major learning curve. I hope this helps you out. We learned something today. We learned something together. So do I recommend water glassing? Yes. But know what you're getting into. Know the size of your containers. I would have separate ones because, like I said, I lost this one. But I didn't lose this one. Now I have one more to test. But I think it's going to be like this. It's going to be pretty good. But my point is you know what we learned here together, guys? Don't put your eggs in one basket, right? We appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Like, subscribe, and share. Tell us your thoughts. Tell us what you're seeing. Tell us the experiences that you're having. And come around summertime, we may try a different method just to add the experience and put the check by it and compare it to this and see what we like better. You never know. Guys, we will see you on the next video. You know what we're missing here? Biscuits and gravy and a sliced tomato.